What does your typical day with social media look like?
So when I wake up, I use it as an alarm. I use the Bluetooth to play music as I get ready. I check all my social media apps in the morning. I use Spotify to walk to class. I usually text in class. I always use my iMessage on my phone, my computer. I check my Snapchats. My teachers don't really say anything. I continue texting through class, and that's pretty much the rest of the day is basically a repetition of that. I'm always texting somebody, whether it's my friends or my boyfriend or my parents, just always texting them.
So I usually wake up and go on Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook.
I wake up in the mornings, my phone alarm going off, and then I check Instagram and I check Snapchat every morning because my one friend Snapchats me every morning. Walk to class with Instagram and check Facebook during class, and I don't know, I use it a lot.
Well, I usually wake up to my alarm and that's on my phone, so I check my phone, see if I got any texts overnight while I was sleeping.
I wake up and the first thing I do is check my phone.
Usually I wake up and I eat breakfast while going on social media like Snapchat and Instagram.
And I jump into Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I read the newspaper. I read some newsletters. I actually use my Alexa to get a sense of the news briefing for the day, which is usually the overnights. And it just gives me a good start to the morning and allows me to get a sense of what I should be talking about with clients all week.
It's very mindless. I find myself mindlessly scrolling and liking through Instagram. It's not even something that I'm even thinking about doing. It's just automatic.
Sometimes it's like a circle, so I'll start on Snapchat, check those, go through Instagram, check all that, go through Facebook. By the time I do that, there's new Snapchat, so I have to go back on Snapchat.
Which social media do you primarily use?
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat.
Instagram, Facebook, and I most recently deleted my Snapchat.
It took me a lot of time just to get a Facebook. I usually just rely on peer pressure to do those things. It's a social network, so I'm not really going to use it until my own close personal social network forces me onto it.
Snapchat, Instagram. My favorite is Visco.
Instagram and Snapchat.
My usage is very limited. I have a Facebook account. I have an email.
So we have a Facebook account. We have a Twitter account. We're getting ready to kind of embark more on YouTube.
How has social media impacted social relationships?
People don't converse anymore. They sit there and look at their cell phone when they're with another person. And so it's almost like it's destroyed the social dynamic of conversation. If you're going to sit and look at your cell phone, why do you need a partner there with you, right? You can do that by yourself. Like so many other things in life, it could be good if used in a proper way. I think it depends on who the people are and what they're using the social media for.
Yeah, I've done a number of studies on what I call problematic internet use, which is a little bit different than internet addiction in that it's more everyday. It's less of a mental health issue. In my studies, what I find is the people who tend to report that their internet use causes problems for them also tend to be people who prefer online interpersonal interaction.
We saw that as being a real problem, that we're more connected than ever with our social media nowadays, and yet we don't know what's happening in our own backyards.
I can have great connections with my mom because I can talk to her on Facebook more than if I only called her once a week. If I'm a very social person, it's a way for me to organize my friends and do stuff. On the other hand, if I'm introverted, it's a way for me to hide from people. So I don't think we can say it's one thing, good or bad. What I tend to see is people who have social problems have worse social problems because of the internet.
If we define addiction as essentially continued behavior despite the negative consequences, physically, socially, legally, etc., failing to do what I'm supposed to do normally so that I can continue in this other behavior. And so that's when, again, we start to look at addiction.
Do you feel social media poses a distraction to you?
I get really distracted on it sometimes. I'll realize that I've been on my phone for 20 minutes and I should be doing something else.
I do not pay attention in class. I'm always on Facebook.
It's very easy to look over their shoulder at that and be distracted in class.
I check Facebook during class all the time, Instagram, and I stop paying attention for half a second and I start paying attention again, and they moved on to like completely different topics.
I'll just have to study harder like when the exam comes because I haven't paid attention in class.
I don't allow technology in my class because, in my opinion, it distracts people. The research on multitasking and media multitasking is pretty clear that people do worse when they're distracted. Even being near somebody who's using a device lowers your own ability to learn.
Having your phone around you can be distracting, the presence of it, and just even it going off can screw up your attention. So our one professor that I have, she actually makes us put our phones out on our desk face down. And I get the point of that. That's because she doesn't want us using them under our desk.
So I don't think it's a very useful thing to do during class. Yeah, other classes use technology as part of the teaching. That's a different story.
How much of a distraction and danger is social media when driving or walking around campus?
I've mastered the walk where like I'm on my phone, but I'm aware of like people, so like I dodge them still just like looking down at my phone.
You're using your phone and not paying attention, you could cause a serious crash and take someone's life or take your own life. And the same is true for just walking around campus, you know. If you're looking down at your phone, you're not paying attention to your surroundings. You could walk out in front of a car. You could walk somewhere that's, you know, not very well lit, those kind of things, and find yourself in a situation where you could become the victim of a crime.
I'll look up and like realize that I'm like 20 feet from where I was and didn't even know. Like it kind of feels like distracted walking is just as dangerous as distracted driving.
We actually had an incident within the last year where a dispatcher was watching a student walking down the sidewalk and kind of zoomed in on the student. They were paying attention to their phone, and as they got to the intersection out here, we have a camera right on this corner here, the student just walked right out in front of a car, and the car had to swerve out of the way to avoid him.
I think that if you just walk around campus and look nowadays, you do see a lot more students focusing on their phones and not talking to each other. It's kind of interesting to see groups of students between classes and they're all on their phones.
Are there ways in which social media affects our lives without us even knowing it?
If I were to ask you, list the parts of your life that are online and offline, you wouldn't be able to draw those lines.
As soon as you make something portable, it becomes addictive. It's like when the phone used to live at a certain part of the house, and you had to sit there and talk on the phone there. But as soon as it became portable, it completely changes the game, and now it becomes addictive.
We all know social media can go all over the place and cross boundaries with personal life and professional life, and who are your friends and who sees it.
Having social media with advertising allows people just to push you things that you would just be applicable or be susceptible to buying.
The sale of data, I think, in the next 5 years is going to become the way that you monetize. That's what because what else does Facebook have but your habits?
If I'm picking up the paper's not reading me. But if I'm on Facebook, they are definitely reading me. And we are the product. We are what's for sale.
How do you feel when you forget your phone or you are unable to use it?
I get this satisfaction because I'm the one that's in the know. I didn't miss anything, right? So we have FOMO, and if I'm afraid of missing out, then I'm on my phone all the time because I want to be in the know, I want to know what's happening. And with that, if you take my phone away, I'm in withdrawal. My brain, my body is very uncomfortable.
My phone is never dead, and I usually don't forget it.
It almost feels like a part of me is like missing. Like it's like a very strange feeling. Like I always reach for it, or like honestly, I would turn around if I forgot my phone in the morning, even if I was late for class.
I usually never forget my phone because that's how much I am addicted to it. But when my phone dies, I feel almost lost. I feel very disconnected.
Everybody's heard the term fear of missing out. In fact, we say it so much that it's actually been published in the Oxford Dictionary, Merriam-Webster. Basically, every major dictionary has the term FOMO.
I was just abroad, and I could only use my phone on Wi-Fi, so that definitely changed my use of social media, because once I did get back on Wi-Fi, I felt like I was always just glued to my phone because I was trying to catch up with everything I missed.
It doesn't necessarily bother me at all when I forget my phone. I actually find it kind of nice just to disconnect a little bit and be more present with whatever I'm doing.
If I don't have anything going on and I'm totally free, I'd love to throw my phone out my window. It'd be really cool.
But that was definitely an experience that I'm happy that I didn't have Wi-Fi most of the time, because it kept me off of my phone when I was traveling and doing things, which helped me be more in the moment.
Not having a phone on me was such a stressful time. I genuinely felt like I was missing out on stuff. things were happening and I just like wasn't aware of it.
Two of my friends, Jason Bamford and Keith Doggett, also seniors, we created an app called GeoSwap, which basically aggregates all of the information, events, attractions, deals, dinners, really anything that's happening around your area so that people get out and engage with their community.
I think that there is a pushback from your generation, your portion of the millennials, who are starting to say, no, I want to experience this. I don't want to show this experience. I want to live it.
How do you feel social media affects your self-worth?
There were times when like we would take like 15 minutes to take pictures of each other because we needed like the perfect picture for Instagram.
Like every like fun activity that I do, I like try my hardest to get like a good Instagram picture. I know even like holidays, like me and my two cousins, every single Easter, we've literally a at least 20 minute long like photo shoot just trying to get the perfect picture for us to post.
When I post a picture, like I find myself looking like for every like I'll be like refresh, like let me pick up my phone. So I started like when I post something, like I'll just put my phone like face down and do something else for like 30 minutes and then go back and check because it's like an obsession.
They give us back gratification. Like likes and follows, what does that actually mean in the grand scheme of things?
Somebody likes my post. I got a gift. I get that pleasure. I get that sense, and I want to do it again. I want to do something again, to find out what people like. It's not really the device. It's the constant feedback that I get that validates me, that tells me they like me, I'm important, I said something funny, right? And so I'm just constantly getting that feedback.
I've never like deleted an Instagram because I haven't gotten a lot of likes. I know people do that, but I think definitely like when I don't, I like wonder why. Like was this picture not as good as my other ones? Like why didn't as many people like it?
I wasn't as pretty as the girls that were getting 300, 400 likes on their Instagrams. I felt like I wasn't artsy enough, I wasn't good enough, all because of my Instagram.
Well, I just think there's a need now to show everybody how much of a good time you're having. Just like it's kind of like a competition on who's having the most fun.
It seems like people can't go and do something without putting it on Snapchat, posting on Instagram, whatever.
I feel like I'm supposed to be having a lot more fun. I feel like I'm missing out on a lot of stuff because I see people's Snap stories, I see their Instagrams, and I feel like I'm supposed to be out having fun because I see these people having fun and posting it, and that I feel like they're just posting it to look like they're having fun, but at the same time it makes me feel like I should be doing the same thing. I feel like I can't concentrate on one activity for more than 5-10 minutes without checking my phone. I don't read as much as I used to. I used to read so many books, and now I can't concentrate on reading a book. I can't draw anymore without checking my phone. I can't even hang out with my friends for more than 5-10 minutes without checking my phone. So I definitely feel like it's definitely hindered my schoolwork as well. It's a distraction to schoolwork, extracurriculars. It is a distraction to my happiness.
ImMEDIAte, filmed and edited by Devon E. Burke, Lexi Gunnard, Emily Reed, and Tommy McClellan.